Once, there was a traveler who awoke in the heart of a labyrinthine forest, unsure of how he arrived. The air was thick with silence, broken only by distant whispers. In their hand, they held a dim lantern, its light fragile yet alive. Confused and weary, the traveler began to walk, hoping to find an escape. But the paths twisted endlessly, and the deeper they ventured, the heavier their steps became. The forest seemed alive, its shadows whispering doubts into their ears. The trees spoke, their voices like the echoes of forgotten fears. "Turn back," they whispered. "You are not strong enough. The light will fail you." Each word chipped away at the traveler's resolve. But deep within, a faint voice, their own, urged them to continue. And so, they pressed on, though the shadows grew darker. The traveler approaches a fork in the road. A weathered signpost stands between two paths. The wide path is paved and golden, but an illusory shimmer reveals it leads back to the beginning. The narrow path is wild, covered in thorns, with a faint glow at its end. He reached a choice. The wide path was inviting, its golden surface a promise of ease. But the narrow path, it whispered of truth, though it demanded sacrifice. The traveler hesitated, until they noticed the glow within the thorns. The traveler takes the narrow path. With each step, the thorns cut into their skin, but the lantern grows brighter, illuminating hidden symbols on the path. Each cut brought pain, yet the light grew stronger. For every thorn was a fear, a wound, a truth the traveler had avoided. And with each step, they began to shed what no longer served them. The path leads to a still river, its surface like polished glass. The traveler kneels, their lantern glowing steadily. They see their reflection, but it shifts and changes, showing faces they've worn, masks of anger, fear, and doubt. The river revealed the many faces they had worn, faces shaped by expectations, pain, and illusion. And yet, beneath the masks, something pure awaited, their true self, untouched by the shadows. The traveler reaches into the water, pulling out a small shard of crystal from the depths. As they hold it, the lantern absorbs the crystal's light, becoming a radiant beacon. It was only by facing their reflection that they reclaimed the light they had forgotten. The lantern was no longer just a guide. It was a part of them. The traveler climbs a steep mountain, the sky above shifting from stormy clouds to a brilliant dawn. Along the way, they pass weathered stones etched with ancient symbols, spirals, stars, and eyes. Each step was a trial, each stone a lesson. The symbols whispered wisdom. The forest was never your prison. It was your teacher. The light you seek has always been within. At the summit, the traveler stands above the forest, the sun rising in the distance. They hold the lantern high, its light blending with the sun's rays. And in that moment, they saw the forest for what it truly was, a mirror of their soul. Its shadows had shaped them, but its light had freed them. For awakening is not the absence of darkness, but the mastery of it. The traveler descends the mountain, their steps steady and purposeful. Along the way, the forest transforms, flowers bloom, vines untangle, and light filters through the canopy. Other figures emerge from the shadows, each carrying dim lanterns. The traveler kneels, touching their lantern to another's, igniting a brighter flame. The traveler became a guide, lighting the lanterns of others still.